Justice Mohammed Lawal Garba has replaced Justice Bulkachuwa as the chairman of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. Justice Garba, who presides over the Lagos Division of the Appeal Court, appeared as the new chairman when the five-man panel began sitting today in Abuja. He asked for the cooperation of the parties, saying the petition was time-bound and there is need to ensure all cases are heard. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafo, has the rest of the story.
Government workers making their way to their various offices along the roads leading to the appeal court premises of the Presidential Election Tribunal. The security operatives who had previously blocked the area during the sitting of the tribunal restricted their checks to the entrance of the appeal court. Inside the courtroom, parties in the various petitions await the arrival of the panel of the tribunal, especially as a new chairman is expected following the withdrawal of Justice Bulkachuwa from the tribunal for what she called personal reasons. 2 weeks after the new chairman of the tribunal is Justice Mohammed Garba, the presiding judge of the Lagos Division of the Appeal Court. He hits the ground running as he began a fresh call of the 4 petitions before the tribunal.
As you can see, he has come with vigor. He wants this matter to be, all the cases to be tried timeously. What he did first was to abridge time. Initially, our starting point was 10 o'clock. Now he said that we are commencing hearing henceforth from 9:30 a.m. dot. And you could see how the proceeding went. Everybody was okay with the proceedings.
We are very happy proceedings have recommenced, and we're also happy with the speed. Today it was a call-over day, and the matter has been adjourned to tomorrow, so we are very happy with the progress that is being made.
In the process of the call-over, the Coalition for Change, one of the petitioners at the tribunal, withdrew its petition, a request that was granted by the tribunal, which subsequently dismissed the petition. One of the lawyers to the president hails the move by the party.
As a lawyer, I represent the interest of my clients. So they instructed me, according to our decisions or resolutions arising from the next meeting, kindly withdraw the petition against the president. And that was exactly what we did today.
We expect the other petitioners to also see the light and also embrace the truth. And that's where we stand on this. So we thank them for embracing the truth, haven't seen the light, and we expect the other petitioners to do the same.
With the withdrawal of the petition of the Coalition for Change, there remains only 3 petitions before the Presidential Election Tribunal, that of the People's Democratic Party, the Hope Democratic Party, and the People's Democratic Movement. Amaka Okafo, Channels Television News.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has signed the June 12 bill into law, declaring the date as Democracy Day and a public holiday every year. The presidential aide on National Assembly matters, Senator Itai Nank, told State House correspondents that the president assented to the Public Holiday Amendment Act. With this move, May the 29th, which was formerly observed as Democracy Day, is no longer a public holiday.
Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari has just assented to the Public Holidays Amendment Act. This act declares June 12 of every year as a public holiday and Democracy Day in Nigeria. It amends the Public Holidays Act, which now removes May 29 of every year as a public holiday and now makes it June 12, the Democracy Day, to be a public holiday, in Nigeria from henceforth. That is the bill just assented to by Mr. President, which we are transmitting. Thank you very much. By the act amended and signed by Mr. President, May 29 is no more a public holiday. It is now the Democracy Day, June 12.
And as the country looks to officially inaugurate the new Democracy Day on June the 12th, elder statesman Ayo Okpaduku has called for the return to the federal constitutional arrangement reached at independence for the country to experience progress. He was speaking in Lagos at a press conference organized by the National Democratic Coalition, NADECO. Our correspondent Loretta Chiogo has this report.
Democracy activists who survived the June 12 struggle are gathered here, and of course discussions would bother on democracy in Nigeria and what it really means to the country. These aged men were once at the forefront of the June 12 agitation with the hope of entrenching democracy in Nigeria. This they did in their early days.
June 12, therefore, was a national referendum which, if it was not annulled, was capable of creating a nation out of the country called Nigeria.
We've gone too long on the wrong road. We must return to the right road and leave off hoping to change things otherwise.
20 years after the return to democratic rule in the country, Ayo Okpadokun, a frontliner in the struggle, says not much has changed.
Is it not incongruent? How do you explain that a country with such great wealth like Nigeria, that its citizens, the preponderance of its citizens, almost 80 to 85% of its people are living below the poverty line? It is because by stroke of decree, the military government appropriated to itself all the major means of raising resources by the regions to the central government. That make the regions or the component units not to have resources to run their state. They have to go cap in hand. Every week, almost every governor must go to Abuja.
He believes a national dialogue is necessary for the manifestation of a true democracy if the country must get on track of progress.
Nadeko had spoken right away from our first appearance on May 15, 1994. Nigeria should go back to the federal constitutional governance. That's the only thing that can save us. This is an heterogeneous society. Nobody wants to be loaded over by another group. It is buffoonery. It is a denial of reality. For anybody to imagine that perhaps they have settled the Nigeria matter at the war front, Nigeria's the Arab front, it's a bogus lie, and it's a pretentious statement.
While he welcomes the declaration of June 12 as Nigeria's Democracy Day, Ayo Okpadokun says he's not particularly excited until the ordinary Nigerian can conquer poverty. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
It appears the ruling party, that's the All Progressive Congress, is not leaving anything to chance ahead of the elections of the 9th National Assembly top officials tomorrow, as President Muhammadu Buhari is meeting with members-elect at the Sheraton Hotel in Abuja. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the APC National President, Mr. Adams Oshomole, and APC governors are amongst those in attendance for the closed-door meeting. It's believed that the inauguration of the 9th Assembly and elections of its officials may be top on the agenda. Earlier today, APC Governors Forum, the National Working Committee and the National Assembly Caucus met today to endorse the party's choice of leaders for the 9th Assembly.
We've all agreed as a caucus to endorse distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawal as the APC candidate for the presidency of the Senate, and distinguished Senator Omo Agege as the proposed Deputy Senate President. We also agreed to adopt Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Right Honorable Comrade Wassa as Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives. So these four are the APC nominees for the respective positions. And the joint caucus of the two chambers and the governors of the APC were all unanimous to adopt this position.
Meanwhile, all is now set for the swearing-in of new lawmakers and the elections of presiding officers in the 9th National Assembly. This has been confirmed by the Clerk of the National Assembly, Mr. Mohammed Sani Omoluri. Lawmakers told our correspondent, Larry Dasisi, that they are satisfied with the arrangements and looking forward to the event.
It is less than 24 hours to the first session of the 9th National Assembly. In the National Assembly complex, preparations are on to ensure that all is ready. The Clerk of the National Assembly says all is set for the big event.
So far, everything is going well. We have an arrangement where the lawmakers are being documented in the National Assembly complex. And if you've gone around, you see that what we try to do is to have the one for the House of Reps in the House and the Senate in the Senate wing. And so far, everything is going very well.
Some lawmakers are in the complex to complete their accreditation, and they assess the process.
I think it's not stressful, and so far so good. I even thought within 1 hour I was able to get through yesterday, and all of my colleagues are there doing their own.
Before you know it, you see 3 members with certificate of returns, 2 members presenting certificate of returns from the same federal constituency. I want to say with due respect to the Nigerian judiciary, this has to be looked into. I also want to say with due respect to the electoral umpire that this has to be sanitized.
They're also optimistic of a smooth election for presiding officers of the 9th National Assembly.
As Democrats, when we get into the chamber, everything will be dictated by the process of democracy.
I want to say with all sense of conviction that by tomorrow we are likely to field a lone candidate in the Senate, and we are likely also to field a lone candidate in the floor of the House of Representatives. But in the event where that does not happen, I want to tell you it's going to be like a sweeping of the board.
According to the Clerk of the National Assembly, everything has been put in place to make the process faultless.
We've tried as much as possible to put to fine-tune the arrangements in line with some of the experience we've had. The lawmakers are going to be moved from their various hotels straight into the hall, and we expect that everybody will be seated by 9:30 thereabout, and then the program should commence by 10 o'clock in the Senate.
So last-minute preparations are being put in place to ensure that all is set for the big day when all the members, all the lawmakers of the 9th National Assembly will come in here, be sworn in, and elect their leaders. And it's been made very clear that unlike the last time when there may have been some confusion about the time the event will start, it's going to start at exactly 10 a.m. in the Senate. Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.